Hello, my name is Anya. I was born and raised in Ukraine, and today I would like to share a very special recipe with you, one of the best dishes that Ukrainian cuisine has to offer, which is Ukrainian Borsch. And there are many ways to prepare this dish, but I found over the years that the best recipe was the one of my father's, which he passed to me, and I would like to pass it to you today. To prepare the dish, we'll need a medium-sized cabbage. We'll need lots of greens. We'll need parsley and green onions, carrots, like approximately 4 medium-sized carrots, 4 large potatoes, approximately 4 beets, and a fairly large piece of meat. I usually prefer to buy New York sirloin steak, but it's very important that it has a little bit of a bone to it. It will really make your broth much richer and more delicious this way. We'll also need a few spices like bay leaf, paprika, oregano, dill, and also some kidney beans, black pepper, also unground pepper, salt, and tomato paste. So now we're going to start with broth, and I'm going to place this delicious piece of meat in my pot and fill it just a little bit with water so that it covers the meat. And I'm going to place it on the stove and bring the water to boil. The water started boiling in our pot, and what I'm going to do now is to get rid of all this residue that appears after the meat starts boiling. And I'm just going to wash it really well so that we get nothing of it in our borscht. Now that our pot and meat are nice and clean, I have added approximately 3/4 the amount of water in the pot to make sure that our vegetables fit there as well. You can also cut the meat in half or in 4 pieces now, or you can also do it later, closer to when the dish is ready or once it's ready. So now I'm going to add spices to the broth. I'm going to add approximately 3 leaves of bay leaf, 1 teaspoon of unground pepper, dill, oregano, and some paprika. And also maybe 3 cloves of garlic. And now we're ready to place our broth on the stove. And it will probably take us around half an hour until the meat is cooked. But depending on the meat that you buy in the supermarket or on the street market, I recommend that you check your meat after half an hour every once in a while with a fork to see that it's almost ready for the vegetables to be added. Our broth is ready, and we know this by checking our meat. And our meat is fairly soft. The knife goes in fairly smoothly. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut out all the bones from meat and and leave the parts that are the tastiest. So. Now I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces and place it back in the pot. After doing that, I'm going to add potatoes, beets, and most of my carrots in the pot as well. Feel free to add a little bit of water if your broth is a little bit too thick, or if the water in the pot is a little bit boiled out. So, which is what I'm going to do. And now also add salt according to your taste, and it's best if you taste it, you know, so there are no surprises in the end. Now that our carrots, potatoes, and beets are boiling, I'm going to show you the way to cut your cabbage. We'll probably need around half of this size, and it's very important that the cabbage is cut nice and thinly, and this is how you do it. You cut it in half approximately, and in half again. And you get a nice, you know, nice straight edge on one side, and this is where you're gonna, as thin as you can, just kind of go along. Now that you're done cutting your cabbage, you can a little bit mash it. This way it becomes slightly bit softer and juicier. We got our cabbages ready, but before putting them inside the pot, we're going to saute the rest of our carrots, onions, and add a little bit of tomato paste. So I add a bit of olive oil and just put my carrots inside a frying pan. It's going to add very nice deep flavor to our soup. But it's very important not to burn your onions, because then the borscht might have a burnt flavor, which we want to avoid. I usually cut my onions in very thin, round circles, and then across. So keep mixing your onions and carrots while they're in the frying pan, and wait until the onions get slightly golden color. Okay, the onions and carrots are starting to get the color that we need. So I'll add a little bit of tomato paste in the mixture. And we can switch off the burner at this point. Okay, and all this is going to go in our pot. Now it's time to add our cabbage. And we are just going to put it right in. A little bit of parsley, or yeah, a little bit of parsley, and mashed garlic, approximately 3 or 4 cloves, some scallions, and the rest of your tomato paste. And also some kidney beans. And I'm going to stir it really well so that the tomato paste dilutes well. Now you can set your burner on the low flame, and your borscht is done when your potatoes are cooked. And you can check those with your knife. It's best to let your borscht sit on the stove after it's done for half an hour or an hour, because it's one of those dishes that tastes the best even the next day. Our borscht is ready. It smells delicious. The potatoes are soft, and you can serve it with sour cream or just as it is. And I usually put a little bit of parsley on top and a little bit of scallions. I think it's very important that it looks nice. And tiny bit of sour cream. Okay, enjoy.